Good evening and welcome to the 2019-2020 Winter and Senior Athletic Awards presentation. Thank you parents, friends, and student athletes for joining us tonight to celebrate. We have a lot to be proud of. The following awards are the Scholar Athlete Awards. The Scholar Athlete Awards are given to the senior male and female athlete that possess the highest GPA of all senior athletes. This award is sponsored by former athletic director Gary Shaw. The Female Scholar Athlete Award this year goes to Erin Medlock. Congratulations, Erin. And the Male Scholar Athlete Award goes to Jackson Finger. Congratulations, Jackson.
Good evening. I'm Coach Tant. I'll be presenting the awards for Coach Wellman for girls basketball. She's out on maternity leave. First award is Most Improved. I'm going to read this exactly like Coach Wellman typed it. My Most Improved award goes to a girl who had one of the toughest jobs when entering the season. Her freshman year, she didn't get a lot of playing time and was asked at the beginning of this season to be the point guard. She never shied away from the challenge and became the conductor of the offense. It was no easy task. I believe she has grown so much more this year, and a strong sophomore year will ignite 2 very successful years to come in her future. Most Improved goes to Bailey Perry. Next award is the Leadership Award. The Leadership Award goes to a girl that has started for me the past 3 years. She has always been a part of success throughout my 3 years, but took that to another level entering her senior year. Her leadership qualities lead us to many wins throughout the year and showed up most when I put the ball in her hand at the end of big games when needed. I'm looking forward to seeing her success at the college level in the game she loves, and have been honored to get the opportunity to coach her. Leadership Award goes to Savannah Baldwin. The best all around is a girl that has done just about everything. She went from a spark off the bench to my leading scoring in most games. She was the most consistent this year in games, being a scorer on the offensive end and a defensive threat on some of our league's best players. This young lady is probably the most coachable player I've ever coached. She is eager to perform at a high level and does whatever I ask of her. Her persistence off the court and the way she conducts herself, I hope every player follows. Best all around goes to Mallory Canuck. Good evening. I'm Jason Tant, head boys basketball coach here at North Gaston High School. I'd like to introduce Coach Zach Riccozzi, our JV coach. I'm very excited about the future of North Gaston basketball. Watching the JV program at practice and from the stands, I felt like we were able to pick up a new system very quickly and showed a lot of success. I'm excited for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Zach Riccozzi.
Thank you, Coach Tant. I just want to take a quick moment to thank North Gaston High School, Coach Tant, and also Coach Patton for giving me the opportunity this year to coach at North Gaston. I'm excited about our future, and I'm looking forward to many more years here to help this program build and move forward. I have 2 awards to give tonight. The first award is the Coaches Award. This goes to a player that I had the honor to coach in middle school, and he is the type of player that is a leader on the court, and he picks up everything that you teach him in practice quickly, and he is a great teammate, a great leader, and I'm excited for his future here at North Gaston. The Coaches Award goes to Austin Wood. The second award goes to a player that I have not had the opportunity to coach until this year. He came to us from a different school, from Holbrook. I didn't expect much from this player at the beginning of the year. He came in late because he was a football player. And he showed from the beginning that he was determined, a leader, and a really great all-around player. And he became one of our leading scorers and leading rebounders. The Most Improved Award goes to Ashton Miller.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, JV parents. In our program, we like the JV guys to watch the varsity games and ride home on the bus. Parents, I know it's not ideal, but I think the more basketball the players watch, the more successful they will be. Thank you, JV players. Many of you recorded varsity games. Some of you kept stats. We scrimmaged a lot during practice, and thank you for your effort all year. I'm excited for the future. Now on to the varsity basketball. Thank you to the varsity basketball players: Bryson Walker, Blake Walls, Noah Wallace, Jackson Finger, Mason Mackey, Santiago Amaza, Kirk Scoggins, Stephon Simmons, Parker Richards, and Jordan Hockman. I know the difficulty of changing coaches in the middle of your high school career. Thank you for seniors for coming back and providing leadership. Thank you, varsity parents. It's a long basketball season. We go from November to February. You allowed us to take your kids down to South Carolina for a tournament. Not sure if they told you about me beating them in bowling. Thank you to administration, Mr. Connor, Ms. Bergeson, Mr. Stauffer, and Ms. Stewart for supporting the basketball program this year. Thank you to the cheerleading program, the dance program, for coming to every game and supporting the guys. Thank you to the band program for taking care of concessions. Thank you to Coach Wallace for keeping the JV and varsity scorebooks. Thanks to Mr. Craig Prim for keeping the clock for all 3 games. Thank you for the Booster Club for supporting us financially with new equipment as well as attending all the games. Thanks to Coach Wellman for working with me during the practice plan for both the boys and the girls programs. Thank you to the Dallas community, Mr. Curtis Owens at Timeout, Coach Comer and Miss Comer at Riverside, Pita Pit, and all the local restaurants that helped us out with pregame meals. Thanks to Mr. Mark Hovis for supporting the program and feeding us on senior night. Thanks to Coach Mike Patton, our athletic director, for supporting the basketball program day in and day out. Coach, along with the Booster Club, would clean the gyms after each game, which made it a lot easier on us the next day at practice and the next day at school. Thanks to Coach Riccozzi for being there every day at practice and every game. I'm excited about our future. Now on to the awards. Our first award is the Wildcat Team Award. This award goes to a young man who did everything we asked him to do. Sometimes he played 2 minutes, sometimes he played 12 minutes. It didn't matter. This young man gave all his effort no matter how much playing time he received. I'm excited about him becoming a leader next year in the program. Our Wildcat Team Award goes to Mr. Blake Walls. The next award is what we call the Hustle Award. This award goes to a young man who gives 100% all the time. He often looked like he ran a marathon at the end of practice or at the end of a game. Everyone knows he gives 100% as he dives on the floor, has bruises, strawberries. This young man's fun to watch, and we're excited about him returning next year as a leader. Our Hustle Award goes to Mr. Dylan Stewart. The next award we call the Coaches Award. This young man was just fun to be around. Made us all laugh. He even beat us in bowling on one leg. He plays multiple sports, but has the potential to be the best shooter in the county next year. The Coaches Award goes to Mr. Bryson Walker. Our final award goes to a young man who had a little difficult time this year. We asked him to step up to a role he was not accustomed to the past couple of years. He had no problem stepping up to the metaphorical plate. Another player that was just fun to watch, gives 100%, dives on the floor, is a leader by example, not necessarily by word of mouth. He'll have to learn that at the next level. Statistically, he was in the top 3 of every major category. Our Most Outstanding Player Award goes to Mr. Jackson Finger. Again, thank you to the players, to the parents, and everyone who supported North Gaston basketball. We are excited about the future.
I'm here on behalf of Coach Comer, who is unable to be here today, to present the wrestling awards for this year. To start off with, our wrestling program has grown very well the last few years, with this being the second consecutive year winning the Big South Conference tournament and championship. So congratulations to those guys. They've worked very hard. I know starting the year off, they had a lot of young wrestlers who've been in the program, and they had 3 seniors, Justin Donovan, Justin Henson, and Trent Dixon. Fairly young team, and those guys competed really well and finished the season really well. So we're proud of them and how they've represented our program. The first award that's going to be presented goes to a young man who was the Rookie of the Year. And the Rookie of the Year this year goes to Stephen Marina. He was also a member of the Big South All-Conference team. The second award that's going to be presented is the Coaches Award. This goes to a young man who works really hard all year long with his brothers. And the Coaches Award goes to Bo Carpenter. The next award is the Most Improved Wrestler Award. And this award goes to another brother who works extremely hard all year. And this award goes to Seth Carpenter. And finally, the Most Outstanding Wrestler for the second year in a row, who led the team in wins, is Chance Cottingham.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Coach Helton. I'm your swim team coach for this season. First off, I want to start by thanking a couple key people that made this season possible. First of all, the swim team parents are absolutely incredible, from making sure kids get to practice on time from here all the way down to South Gastonia. They bring snacks for us at meets and are just incredibly supportive. I think every meet I always saw more black and gold in the crowd than any other team represented. So thank you, parents, for all that you did for us this season. I also would like to thank my 2 assistants, Coach Irwin and Coach Cronlin. Without them, really, we wouldn't have been able to have a swim team this year. Many of you know I had a child midway through the season, and if it weren't for those 2 keeping the program afloat, running practice, getting the team to meets, we wouldn't have been able to have a season. So I'm very thankful to both of them and their contributions. I also like to thank my wife, Coach Patton, the North Gaston administration for all that you do, for allowing me to coach and be a part of a wonderful program. For our awards, I'd like to start off with the women's team first. I usually don't do co-awards. That's not something I typically like to do. However, this year for the girls' team, it was inevitable because there were two young ladies who improved more so than anyone else. The first young lady that is winning our most improved trophy this year is Sabrina Trejo. Sabrina has fought through a lot on her time during in the swim team, and she has persevered through a lot. She's talked to me about quitting a couple times, and we've kind of talked her off the ledge. And she has gone from not being very confident in herself to every race setting personal best times. And we're incredibly proud of Sabrina and all that she's worked to accomplish. And I know if she's willing to give it one more go around, then we'd be glad to have her back. Our other one, this young lady was brand new to us this year. Comes from a softball background, so we weren't quite sure how she was going to do in the swimming pool. And at first, it didn't look so hot, and she would be the first to admit that. But I've not seen someone more determined to get good than this young lady did. And she fought all year. She worked from kind of the beginner lane up to the ace lane, and actually made it onto some relay teams at the end of the year, and went on to regionals. So our second co-most improved goes to Madison Sipe. Our next award is called the Katie Haskins Coaches Award. Just a little background on my swimming coaches awards. I told, and I made a deal with myself, that whoever was the first winner of my coaches award for swimming, I would name the award after them. So you will hear both Katie Haskins and Riley Thornburg's names attached to my coaches award. For the girls, the Katie Haskins Award goes to a swimmer who's been with me for 3 years now, and this is a senior that I'm going to miss greatly. She is the definition of a leader. She's the first one at practice every day, and usually the last one to leave. She's not going to lead by her voice, but she's going to lead by example. As a coach, when you're looking for someone who is the definition of a coach's award, this young lady fits that to a T. I can't imagine what our relay teams are going to look like next year without her. I can't imagine what this team is going to look like next year without her, but we're going to have to try. So our Katie Haskins Coaches Award goes to Kinley Allred. And last but not least, for our women's awards, our most valuable was very clear cut. There was no close second place to our MVP award this year. She scored the most points by about 56 points, which in swimming is pretty substantial. She's a fantastic student athlete, great in the classroom, great in the pool. She's also a multi-sport athlete, so she is a very valuable athlete to this school. I'm excited to have her back again next year, finally one that I don't have to say goodbye to. Our most valuable this year is Susan Christie. Now moving on to the men's side of things. Our men's awards were very, very clear cut. I do want, before I get into the awards, want to thank one swimmer who will not be with us next year, not because he's graduating, but because he's moving back to his home country. Guillaume Costa Castrillo, we're very thankful for him swimming with us this year. He made some big-time improvements and could have won the Coaches Award, but there was another athlete that just was a little bit more. But we want to thank him for coming and swimming with us and being a part of this team. So our most improved for the men's. This young man comes in a large package. And when you think of a swimmer, you don't necessarily think of a big guy. being your typical swimmer. But this dude has put that aside. He has worked his absolute butt off to become a good swimmer and a valuable part of this team. He has added events to his repertoire that he never thought he would swim. In fact, he told me he would quit if I ever put him in the 500. But he stuck with it, and he swam the 500 almost all season and did very well at it. Our most improved swimmer for the men's team this year is Nathan Williams. Next, we have our Riley Thornburg Coaches Award. That goes to a young man that I'm thankful enough to coach in 2 different sports. He's the epitome of an awesome student athlete again, but he's also just a fun person to be around. I think for a while there he kind of stayed in the shadow of his brother here at North Gaston, but he has now stepped out from that shadow and has become his own person. He's become his own athlete. He is an incredible part of our relay teams for the men's. He's very close to making it to regionals individually, and we're going to get that this coming year in his senior year. And like Kenley, he's the first one there at practice for the men. He leads by example. He's the last one to leave, and sometimes he's like, "Coach, can we stay a little bit longer so I can work on something?" And that's the kind of kid that you want to coach. Our Riley Thornburg Coaches Award winner for the men's team is Blake Hughes. And last but not least for the men's, we have our most valuable. Our most valuable goes to someone who never thought he would swim. He's been a baseball player his whole life, played all kinds of other sports. He's wrestled. And we kind of had to pry him away from that to get him to swim. But once we got him in the pool, the kid is like a bullet in the water. And I'm excited to see where he continues to go from here, because up is the only direction. And I think we have the chance of having if nothing else, a regional qualifier in our hands, perhaps a state qualifier in our most valuable. He's the leader of our relay teams, and will continue to lead this team as we go forward. Our most valuable swimmer this year is Ryan Probst.
I'm Mandy Lay, and this is the night of the year that I get to sound like a broken record talking about my cheerleaders and how proud I am. Finishing my 15th year as head coach and looking forward to starting year 16 as soon as we are allowed. It still never gets old saying how proud I am of our squad and our program and our school. There are so many people who make it possible for these girls to do what they do each year. And first and foremost, I imagine being an athletic director is often a thankless job. So we want to let Coach Patton know how much we appreciate what he does for our girls and all of our coaches and students and athletes. And we also want to thank the other coaches, teachers, administrators who work with us to make our program successful year after year, and the community businesses and leaders who support us throughout the year as well. Our athletic training department is absolutely the best. So thank you, Ashley and Keith, and our student trainers for all that you guys do day in and day out. And to the cheer parents, thank you for supporting our program and allowing your daughters to remain committed to it. I always say this every year as well, but they spend more time with me or with us, myself and my assistant coach, than they do with their own parents. So we recognize that it takes dedication on the part of the cheer parents as well as the girls. And my own parents, who are raising my kids while I'm raising other people's kids, I couldn't do what I do without my parents' support. So I want to thank them as well. And the last thanks goes to my assistant coach, Autumn Fail Parker. She was an awesome cheerleader that I had the privilege of coaching, and I remember her awards night when I gave her an award not too many years ago, and now she's my friend and fellow coach, and she's absolutely amazing. The job that she does with our girls is it's just amazing, so thank you, Autumn. Year after year, I say how successful they are, and this year will be no different. This squad has had another successful year, starting with practice last spring right after tryouts. They worked their tails off all summer, and working out and preparing for football and basketball games and the pep rallies and freshman orientation, giving tours, doing fundraisers. They put in a ton of time to be the best at what they do. And this year, just like every year, I was extremely proud of their progress and the goals they reached. And they'll tell you, I don't give a lot of compliments unless I feel that they are absolutely deserved. But other people, opponents, coaches, spectators will often comment on how our girls are second to none, and that makes me extremely proud as a coach. We've been told that again this year, just like in years past, that our school squad is the standard against which other squads are compared. So we're extremely proud of that as well. Our success this year, like every other year, is also a testament to the great leadership exhibited by our seniors. We had 3 seniors this year, Olivia Chapman, Olivia Mackey, and Destiny Harden, and all 3 of these young ladies have grown so much, especially during this final year, and we're extremely proud of them. So thank you, seniors, for stepping up and representing our school the way you did. We have 3 awards to give out. The Most Dedicated Cheerleader Award is first. This young lady is absolutely fearless, a daredevil. She's one of the strongest girls I've ever coached, and she always pushes herself to get even stronger. She's extremely talented and driven, self-motivated, assertive. She's improved in every way each year, particularly this year as a senior. She took many a beating by her flyers and sometimes the other bases on the mats and the track and the court, and refused to sit out or give up her spot no matter what. She kept us and herself laughing the whole time, and you would never know that she had maybe just chipped a tooth or sprained her wrist or Lord knows what else. The Most Dedicated Cheerleader Award goes to Miss Destiny Harden. Next is the Most Valuable Cheerleader Award, and this one goes to the young lady that battled through illness and injuries over the past several years and still came out a dynamic leader. She always kept her squad focused and led by example, working on things behind the scenes, putting in so much extra time that probably none of the girls on her team even realized that she was doing things behind the scenes and helping me out in countless ways. She took our sole freshman this year under her wing and turned her into an awesome base. She put the team first, always, and held them together when things were changing and difficult. Her talent speaks for itself. She's a great teacher, a great base, a great leader, and an all-around great person. The Most Valuable Cheerleader Award goes to Miss Olivia Mackey. And lastly, the Coaches Award. I don't always give a Coaches Award, but this year it definitely seemed fitting. This young lady was new to the squad this year, and that's not an easy role to play as a senior. But her work ethic and attitude and her perseverance are what made her really stand out. She already had the experience and the talent as well, but her teammates, I think, quickly learned that she was going to go above and beyond to prove herself worthy of that uniform, and that she was going to look like a veteran senior. She never complained, ever, whether or not she was in the spotlight. She was determined to recover when sick, rehabilitate when injured, because she wanted to soak up every minute of her time as a North Gaston varsity cheerleader. She stepped into any position we asked her to. She was an outstanding back spot. She based, she tumbled, and she did it all with a smile. So the Coaches Award goes to Miss Olivia Chapman. So congratulations and thank you to all of our seniors. You will be truly missed.
Hi, I'm John Sullivan, coach of the girls soccer team. And I just want to say a few words about this disappointing season that we had this year. Disappointing in that we didn't get to play. I had such a great group of girls. We have a lot of fun out there on the field. They're just terrific attitude. We're really looking forward to the season, really pumped up for it. And to get it cut short was really just a shame for the girls. I had an outstanding group of seniors, Piper Caudle, Kendall McCarter, Justice McCombs, Erin Medlock, and Kate Medlock. And really disappointed for them, sad that they didn't get to experience the year they were looking forward to. But I know they got good things going on ahead for them and a lot of success, and I'm not worried about what's going to happen with them in the future. Today I got the pleasure to give out the Female Sportsman of the Year award. This award goes to a young lady who excelled both on the volleyball court and on the soccer field. She was a 4-year varsity volleyball player, starter all 4 years, team leader. On the soccer team, she played 3 years of varsity soccer. One of those players who gives her all, practice player, game player, a true competitor, a true sportsman, in that she gets along with her teammates, the opponents, never mouths off to referees, does anything the coaches ask of her. And one example of her, she was awarded to wear our number 0 jersey this year, which goes to our player who exemplifies our North Gaston Lady Wildcats team spirit. She was a team leader. She'll be truly missed here at North Gaston. And our Female Sportsman of the Year goes to Kendall McCarter.
Tonight I have the honor and the privilege of announcing our Co-Sportsman of the Year award. We as coaches had such a tough time deciding between just one young man to give this award to. We decided that we would just go ahead and give it to both of them, as a convincing argument could be made for either young man. Our first young man receiving this award tonight was a 4-year football team member, as well as a multi-year wrestler and track team member. He's been a great teammate, he's been a great competitor, and he's been great in the classroom. I was lucky enough to be able to teach this young man this semester before COVID ruined that. And he is just a wonderful kid to be around and a great athlete as well. He will be attending Averett University in the fall, where he will be joining the football team there. And this is a student athlete that we are truly going to miss around the halls of North Gaston. The first Co-Sportsman of the Year is Justin Donovan. Our second Co-Sportsman of the Year, I have had the opportunity and have been blessed to have both coached and taught this young man. He is a joy to have in the classroom, and he's incredibly fun to be around on the athletic field. He's played football, he has pole vaulted, and he has swam. This young man is the light of the room whenever he walks into it. You're going to hear him before you see him, but you know this young man is in the room. He is incredibly dedicated to whatever he chooses to do. He makes sure that he does it well. He's not one of those that's just going to throw something out there and be done with it. He's going to make sure that he's doing it right, and he wants to know how he can do it better. His dedication has been incredible on the swim team, and I know he's done wonders in other sports as well. This young man will be attending Appalachian State University in the fall, so go Mountaineers. And we look forward to seeing what his exploits will take him to do later on in his life. This young man also completed his Eagle Scout Award by doing some work for our track and field program, as well as providing a monetary donation to the North Gaston Athletic Program. Our other Co-Sportsman of the Year is Davis Paysauer.
The next award we are presenting is the Female Athlete of the Year Award. This year, the Female Athlete of the Year Award goes to a young lady who was our only 3-sport female athlete this year. She was a great teammate, and she was a great leader on the team, her respective teams all year. Not only on the volleyball court, but in the swimming pool and on the softball field. She will continue in athletics, having signed to play softball at Catawba Valley Community College starting next fall. This year's North Gaston Female Athlete of the Year is Madison Ross.
Good evening. This award recognizes a male athlete that demonstrates athletic excellence, preferably in more than one sport, while exhibiting great character, sportsmanship, and commitment to academics. The 2020 winner definitely checks off all those boxes. Whether in practice or games, this athlete always set the tone by competing hard on every possession and getting the most out of every rep and every opportunity. A tough competitor, he is no stranger to diving after a loose ball on the court or for a ball in the hole, scrapping for rebounds or stealing a bag, knocking down the big shot, or coming through at the plate when his team needed him most. As coaches, we often talk about players being coachable. This is not just listening and trying, but taking information, making adjustments, and executing when the lights are the brightest and the stakes are at their highest. Big moments brought the best out in this competitor. Celebrating senior night against Ashbrook, he came through with a career night on the basketball court, scoring a career-high 18 points and dishing out 5 assists, leading his team to their best win of the season. On the diamond, his senior season was unfortunately cut extremely short, but he had enough time to leave his mark. Poised to put his stamp on an outstanding baseball career, he was leading our team in practically every offensive category, including batting average, slugging percentage, OPS, hits, runs, RBIs, triples, home runs, and stolen bases. In a huge shutout win versus Cherryville, he broke open a 0-0 game with his first career high school home run, a no-doubter that sent his dad deep into the woods to recover. Not only enjoying an individual success at North Gaston, he was also a part of some really good teams. He played an important role in the 2018 varsity basketball team that won 17 games, becoming the most successful Wildcat hoop team in 20 years. He was also a starter on the 2019 baseball team that won 22 games and made an Elite Eight appearance in the NCHSAA state playoffs. Outside of his statistics and accomplishments as a student athlete, he is even a better person. Coachable, selfless, great teammate, humble, and well-mannered are just a few of his outstanding characteristics. While I will miss coaching him, I look forward to following him as he continues his baseball career at Catawba College next fall. I know he will be ready. The 2020 North Gaston High School Male Athlete of the Year, Jackson Finger. Congratulations, Jackson.
Our final award presentation this evening is the Stephen Trudnak Memorial Award. The Trudnak Award is presented to the student athlete who best represents the outstanding qualities of character, dedication, and excellence in sports and academics. And these are all exemplified by the late Stephen Trudnak. This year's recipient has been a standout basketball and softball player her entire career at North Gaston. She's been a leader on the court and on the field as well as in the classroom, where she finished in the top 3 in the senior class. She will continue her education and softball career at Western Carolina University this fall. The Stephen Trudnak Memorial Award goes to Savannah Baldwin. In conclusion tonight, I'd like to thank you for joining us in this celebration of our student athletes. Athletes, you have represented the North Gaston community well, and for that, we are very grateful. Being on an athletic team at North Gaston teaches you many things in normal circumstances, but this year obviously has presented us all with more unique challenges. In sports as in life, we're presented with events that are out of our control. How we respond to these events, personally and ultimately forces us to decide whether to be a positive, take it positively, or to be negative. I hope we can all take something positive away from this experience. Maybe this experience has taught us to value opportunities that are presented to us and to not take things like the opportunity to play sports or to earn an education in a school building for granted. Maybe we have a better appreciation for our parents, for our teachers, and for our coaches. This spring has been tough, but as they say, tough times don't last, tough folks do. Seniors, we wish you all the best and the best of luck in the future. We hope you take away great memories and experiences that lead you to be successful in whatever you do. To all our returning athletes, we honestly do not know what the future holds, but we need to prepare for those opportunities for when they do present themselves. And lastly, remember, especially seniors as you leave here, that once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. Thank you all, and have a good night.